So obviously most conversation around GTA 6 right now is about the release date. There's a lot of questions around GTA 6 PC's release date compared to the console's release, because historically GTA always comes out on console first and PC years later. That could be changing here. Cyberboy is talking about it, but essentially the idea here is that an executive at Corsair has been speaking about the fact that GTA 6 may well release early 2026 on PC specifically.
So basically, to cut through all of the noise here, Corsair's gaming vice president of finance, Ronald Van Veen, which by the way is the coolest name I've ever heard in my life, he mentioned GTA 6 in the company's Q4 2024 earnings call. And during this call, he brought up that Take-Two would be releasing GTA 6 on consoles in fall 2025, and he said based on his understanding, the PC version is slated for an early 2026 rollout. Now, in my personal opinion, I'm not an expert on this topic with PC stuff. Based on what Rockstar have done before, and kind of based on the fact that they usually do staggered releases for PC, I don't see why they'd bring out the console version, then bring out the PC version just like 3 to 6 months later. It seems far more logical for them to either bring it out at the same time or drop it maybe a year later.
Yeah, I was going to say, a year later, from a consumer point of view, they want to drop it at the same time. But from a sales point of view, doing it 1 or 2 years later means that people like myself, very clearly, are going to buy the game like once, twice, 3 times. With GTA 5, it was with the PS3, PS4, and then PC. With GTA 6, it'll probably be the PS5, the PS6. Obviously, PS6 doesn't exist yet, and PC. But each time GTA comes out on a new console, I always make you pay the full amount. There's no upgrade fee or anything like that, you just pay the full amount. At that point, it's basically duplicate sales, and I don't see Rockstar wanting to miss out on that.
There's many reasons to stagger the PC version of the game. One of the main reasons is because PC architecture is so much harder to build a game for, with so many different variations of PC builds out there. Making it stable on everything is very difficult. But then, of course, there's the other financial incentive.
That's actually a very good point as well, is that on PlayStation, and this is one of the things that game developers love the most about developing for consoles, is it's all on the same hardware. You don't have to optimize it for these little tiny differences between RAM and graphics cards and CPUs. It's all completely uniform, so you know exactly what graphics card you're working with, exactly what CPU you're working with. There might be slight variations between the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro, but that's about as different as it gets, whereas with PCs, it could be any hardware at all.
If Rockstar do partner with Sony, like it's been rumored, then they're going to want at least a year of PS5 and PS5 Pro console sales, and maybe a special edition console. Also, they'll probably have some sort of agreement with Microsoft also for Xboxes as well. Maybe exclusive deals on Microsoft storefronts and stuff like that. So I don't think that...
Obviously, we have to keep in mind that when it comes to Microsoft compared to Sony is the one that obviously literally owns Windows. So with Microsoft, it is a very different thing. They don't really, I don't think, benefit the same amount as Sony does, at least, when it comes to sales on the Xbox versus PC and the PlayStation versus PC, because at the end of the day, they still make the sale. Although saying that, the one difference is that on Xbox, obviously, you can buy it from, for example, the Xbox store, whereas on PC, you're probably going to buy it from, like, Steam or Epic Games, unless, of course, Rockstar does something like creating their own launcher. That's also possible, but we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Staggered release, I think at the very, very, very minimum, it would be like 9 months, and then probably latest would be probably a year and a half, realistically falling about a year after the console release. I don't feel like Corsair will have any inside knowledge, and the employees at Corsair would have any inside knowledge of when GTA 6 is coming out on PC. Rockstar and Take-Two wouldn't even be discussing that with PC companies. They have...
I somewhat disagree with that. I think they wouldn't officially know, but insiders know a lot of what's happening around the industry. In my opinion, it's likely that they do at least have leaked information that the general public won't know about, just because people in the industry do talk.
No partnership, no affiliations. I think realistically, a lot of people are reading into this particular thing more than they should. What's actually going on here is this Ronald guy has had some internal conversations with his various marketing teams and product teams, and they've roughly speculated that maybe a 6-month post-release would be when they can expect it to come to PCs. I don't think that they've had any conversations with Take-Two, and that can be deduced from what he actually says. It was based on his understanding, not necessarily a conversation he had with Take-Two. So his exact quote was, GTA 6 is probably the one everyone is talking about, and we'll get a glimpse of that, I think, later on in the year for console. My understanding now is that it's going to come out in the fall for console, then early 26 for PC, he said during the call. Then Corsair's CEO Andy Paul backed this up by saying that GTA 6 is still likely a year away. Now, I do want to clarify.
For PC, when speaking on how their products would perform in relation to the games released on the platform, as always, it's best to take such information with a grain of salt, since Take-Two and Rockstar haven't confirmed anything concrete. That makes sense.
Right, I don't think Corsair are lying or being misleading or anything, but they're not going to say to their investors during an earnings call that they think GTA 6 is going to come out in 5 years or 3 years on PC or a year and a half on PC. For them, having GTA
That's
6...
actually a good point. They don't have any fiscal responsibility right now to actually be accurate with this, so that does make sense.
Coming out on PC sooner will massively bump their stock price, and that's actually what happened following the call. So yeah, I'm just saying that they're probably being more optimistic than realistic.
Realistically, what we're seeing there is nothing that special. It's likely, again, a case of a stock bump. I can't see this being an official thing. Now, I don't necessarily think that they know nothing. I think that people like the executives at places like Logitech, Corsair, gaming hardware and peripheral companies in general, they probably are aware more than the general public is of progression of game development like this, just because people in the industry talk in a similar way to how influencers talk as well, and they know what's going on in other games. As an example of that, I used to make Valorant videos, and I knew a lot of what was going on in Fortnite before it came out, because people who, for example, do Valorant leaks also do Fortnite leaks sometimes, and vice versa. So you just kind of get to know things just from being in the industry anyway, and anyone in a position of a executive position in a gaming company, especially something so relevant to GTA, I'd imagine they might be a bit more aware. However, I would not say this is confirmation that we're going to be seeing GTA 6 on PC in early 26. It does seem to be early. My sense is that it'll probably be a year's difference.